Since the dawn of humanity, breathing has been more than just a biological necessity. It has carried an aura of mystery, a subtle power that transcends the simple exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Ancient civilizations, separated by vast distances and epochs, recognized this inherent potential, using breath as a tool to access altered states of consciousness, promote healing, and awaken latent abilities. Yoga masters in India meticulously developed pranayama, a collection of techniques believed to channel prana, the universe's vital energy, according to the sacred Vedic texts. In China, practices such as qigong and tai chi emphasized manipulating the flow of qi, harmonizing body and mind through conscious, deliberate respiration. Even in shamanic traditions, rhythmic breathing patterns and controlled hyperventilation were integral to rituals aimed at connecting with spiritual realms, accessing profound visions, and catalyzing healing processes. But what is the unifying thread that led diverse cultures to view breathing as a portal to something greater? What inherent property makes breath so potent? The answer lies in understanding that breathing is not merely an unconscious bodily function. It is a complex code, a hidden mechanism that, when properly understood and utilized, has the capacity to transform mental states, unlock suppressed emotions, and even shape our perception of reality. Breathing is the bridge connecting the physical and the ethereal, the body and the mind, the conscious and the subconscious. Welcome to an exploration of this arcane vault. Modern science is now validating what the ancients instinctively knew. The way we breathe has a direct and profound impact on brain function and the nervous system. Deliberate, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural mechanism for relaxation, recovery, and mental clarity. In essence, conscious breathing acts as an instantaneous emotional regulator. The rhythm, depth, and consistency of your breath directly influence the release of crucial neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, thereby cultivating a sense of calm and well-being. For example, diaphragmatic breathing, characterized by deep abdominal expansion, can effectively slow the heart rate, lower blood pressure, and induce states of profound relaxation. Conversely, short, shallow breathing, typical of stress and anxiety, keeps the body in a state of heightened alert, depleting energy, tightening muscles, and impairing cognitive function. However, the influence of breathing extends beyond mere relaxation. It can fundamentally alter brainwave patterns. Research indicates that specific breathing rhythms can modulate brainwave frequencies, facilitating access to states such as alpha, associated with relaxation and creativity, and theta, linked to deep meditation and heightened intuition. Imagine that each breathing pattern activates a distinct frequency within your mind, allowing you to operate at an elevated level of awareness. When you cultivate awareness of your breath, a significant shift occurs. You transition from autopilot to mindful presence. It is as if an inner space unfolds, revealing increased silence, clarity, and expanded awareness. This space holds the potential for profound transformations, unexpected insights, and intuitive connections that previously seemed unattainable. Even the subtle pauses between breaths can serve as gateways to deeper understanding. Consider this. If breathing, an act so fundamental and ever-present, accompanying us from our first breath to our last, possesses such transformative power, why have so few people discovered how to harness it to unlock their mind's full potential? The answer often lies in a lack of education and a societal conditioning that leads us to believe control, clarity, and transformation stem from external sources, technology, pharmaceuticals, distractions, or an overabundance of information. Yet the most powerful tool has always resided within us, our breath. The challenge lies in our disconnection from it. We often live on autopilot, breathing shallowly and irregularly, oblivious to the profound impact this seemingly simple act can have when consciously controlled. When you reclaim ownership of your breath, you simultaneously reclaim ownership of your nervous system. You begin to regulate previously uncontrollable emotions, allowing thoughts to slow, heart rate to stabilize, and perception to expand. This is not merely an abstract concept, it is grounded in physiology. Slow, rhythmic breathing activates the vagus nerve, a primary regulator of the autonomic nervous system, diminishing the body's fight-or-flight response and fostering a state of receptivity and equilibrium. What if you could intentionally access this state at will? Instead of being held hostage by stress and anxiety, imagine training your body to enter a state of calm and focused awareness almost instantaneously. Spiritual masters, accomplished monks, elite athletes, and visionary artists have all intuitively grasped this principle. Breathing is among the few physiological processes we can consciously control, making it a key to unlocking our potential. We can accelerate our breathing to generate energy, decelerate it to induce relaxation, or synchronize it to cultivate a meditative state. This deliberate control over breathing empowers us to hack the very architecture of our brain. Beyond relaxation, breathing also orchestrates the release of specific hormones and modulates blood flow to distinct regions of the brain. Techniques such as cyclical breathing and breath retention can potentially trigger the release of dimethyltryptamine, DMT, a naturally occurring compound implicated in mystical experiences and expanded states of consciousness. This may explain why numerous spiritual traditions employ specific breathing patterns to access dimensions of perception that are ordinarily inaccessible. Breathing is more than mere oxygen exchange. It is a gateway to expanding the mind's horizons. Conscious breathing creates space for the unexpected. It establishes a void within, where the ceaseless flow of thoughts subsides and more subtle perceptions emerge. The rational mind relinquishes its absolute control, and in this space, insights, intuitions, and even experiences defying conventional logic can arise. It is no coincidence that innovative thinkers and groundbreaking artists often report their most profound ideas surfacing during moments of relaxation, characterized by deep breathing, allowing the mind to operate without resistance. Imagine the possibilities if you dedicated yourself to cultivating this skill. Envision wielding breath as a reliable tool to intentionally alter your mental state whenever needed, tapping into a potential most people remain unaware of. A hidden power resides within the brain, accessible when we learn to breathe with intention and awareness. Let's delve deeper into how breathing can modulate brainwave activity, unlock intuitive abilities, and reprogram ingrained mental patterns. If you sense an untapped potential within, an ability waiting to be awakened, perhaps the answer lies not in seeking external solutions, but in something you already do every moment of your life: breathing. For years, scientists have investigated the neurological effects of proper breathing, revealing discoveries that can radically transform your understanding of human potential. The brain operates at varying electrical frequencies, known as brainwaves, each corresponding to a specific mental state. Beta waves, 1330 Hz, characterize alertness and logical thought. This is the default mode for many, involving an active mind focused on daily tasks. Alpha waves, 812 Hz, represent a state of relaxation and enhanced creativity, often achieved when closing the eyes and breathing deeply, allowing ideas to flow freely. Theta waves, 4 to 7 Hz, reflect deep meditation and heightened intuition. This is the realm where spontaneous insights emerge, the conscious mind loosens its grip, and unconscious patterns begin to surface. Delta waves, 05 to 3 Hz, dominate during deep sleep and regenerative processes, facilitating profound healing for both body and mind. Here's where it becomes truly intriguing. Breathing possesses the power to influence your brainwaves. Specific techniques can decelerate mental activity, guiding you towards deeper states of perception where intuition and creativity flourish. Anxiety often manifests as rapid, irregular breathing, keeping the brain trapped in high beta waves, resulting in mental overload and a lack of clarity. However, deliberate rhythmic breathing encourages a reduction in beta activity, transitioning the brain into alpha and theta waves, fostering clarity, creativity, and inexplicable intuitions. What if I told you that individuals have learned to harness this to access capabilities bordering on the superhuman? Tibetan monks can elevate their body temperature in freezing conditions solely through breath control. Practitioners of methods like the Wim Hof technique can endure extreme cold, consciously influence their immune system, and alter their blood chemistry. Through mastery of their breath, individuals have entered states of consciousness so profound they report out-of-body experiences, vivid recollections of long-forgotten memories, and the activation of perceptual abilities that defy conventional understanding. This is not mere mysticism or superstition. It's applied neurobiology. We're discussing the art of synchronizing body and mind to tap into latent potential. What if you could train your mind to consistently operate within these elevated states? What if you could effortlessly access your subconscious mind, rewrite limiting beliefs, and awaken hidden talents? This isn't an exclusive gift or a privilege reserved for a select few. It is attainable through practice. Before delving into specific techniques, it's crucial to understand that the potential lying dormant within doesn't need to be created. It simply needs to be unlocked. Think of breathing as the activation code. A radio can tune into different frequencies, but unless you adjust the dial, it will remain locked onto a single signal. Your mind operates in a similar manner. Many spend their entire lives tuned solely to the frequency of the physical and rational world, characterized by predictability, logic, and structure. But other frequencies exist, realms where time seems to slow, insights emerge spontaneously, and an inexplicable clarity prevails. These realms are accessible to anyone who learns to adjust the dial, and breathing serves as the essential tool for doing so. Reflect on this. Why do some individuals effortlessly generate brilliant ideas while others struggle with creative blocks? Why do some exhibit uncanny instincts, making accurate decisions seemingly without conscious thought, while others remain mired in doubt? Why do some experience profound spiritual connections, while others grapple with feelings of disconnect and emptiness? The answer often lies in the mental state from which they operate, and breathing offers a potent means of influencing that state. The brain is remarkably plastic and adaptable, meaning that consistent practice of specific breathing patterns can literally rewire your mind to operate at heightened states of awareness. You can significantly reduce mental noise, alleviate anxiety, enhance your intuition, and reshape limiting beliefs. This requires a conscious decision to begin. You don't need to blindly accept this. Simply experiment. Close your eyes, inhale slowly and deeply through your nose to a count of 4. Hold your breath briefly, then exhale slowly through your mouth to a count of 8. Repeat this cycle 5 times. Afterwards, notice any changes you perceive. Has your heart rate slowed? Is your mind quieter? Do you experience a subtle sense of clarity? Now imagine the potential of deepening this practice, performing 10 or 15 cycles, or exploring different breathing patterns tailored to access specific mental states. The modern world often thrives on distraction, fostering mental overload, stress, and scattered thinking. This state makes individuals more susceptible to external control, leading them to believe they require something beyond themselves to achieve clarity and empowerment. But true power resides within. It has never been taken away, only obscured. If you have reached this point, a part of you already recognizes that there is more than you have been taught, something that has always been present but never consciously explored. Now you have the opportunity to discover, through direct experience, how to access this potential. What follows is not theory, but practical application. The first technique to master is 4-part rhythmic breathing. This practice has been employed for centuries across diverse spiritual traditions, meditative practices, and even by scientists investigating the impact of breathing on the brain. Its effectiveness stems from creating a harmonious balance between oxygenation, retention, and release, guiding the body towards a state of neural coherence where the brain and nervous system function in synchronized harmony. Here's how to practice it. Inhale through your nose to a count of 4. Hold your breath with your lungs full to a count of 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth to a count of 4. Hold your breath with your lungs empty to a count of 4. Repeat the cycle. Initially, it may seem deceptively simple, but as you maintain this rhythm for several minutes, you will likely perceive a change. Your body will relax, your mind will quiet, and a subtle clarity will begin to emerge. With consistent practice, this state will deepen, creating a space of stillness where unexpected insights can surface. Let's take this a step further. According to various spiritual traditions, a specific point in the body is key to unlocking heightened perception. The third eye, also known as the Ajna chakra, located in the center of the forehead between the eyebrows. Ancient texts suggest that proper stimulation of this area can unlock deep intuition, perception beyond normal senses, and a broader understanding of reality. This is not simply esoteric belief. It aligns with neuroscience. The third eye is closely linked to the pineal gland, a small structure in the brain responsible for producing melatonin, serotonin, and potentially DMT, a substance linked to mystical experiences and expanded consciousness. The crucial point is that breathing can stimulate this region. To experiment with this, close your eyes and begin the 4-part rhythmic breathing. As you inhale, focus your attention on the point between your eyebrows. Visualize a blue or violet light illuminating with each breath. Hold your breath briefly, feeling the energy concentrate at that point. As you exhale, imagine the light expanding throughout your mind. Repeat this for a few minutes. You may begin to experience a gentle pressure or tingling on your forehead, perhaps a subtle warmth. Some individuals report fleeting images, colors, or a deeper sense of presence. This is not coincidental. Your brain is responding to the stimulus, activating regions that were previously dormant. Consider the implications. If a simple adjustment in breathing can shift you into a clearer, deeper, and more perceptive mental state, what else might be accessible with consistent practice? The human mind is not confined to the limitations we've been taught. Untapped dimensions exist within, parts of consciousness that have never been accessed, potentials that have always been present but remained ignored because no one instructed you how to activate them. Breathing is the key to unlocking that door. Now that you have experienced the initial effects of conscious breathing, it's time to advance further. You've likely observed that controlling your breath initiates a shift. The mind quiets, perception expands, and a new sense of clarity emerges. But this is merely the beginning. Many individuals live with an imbalance between the logical and intuitive aspects of their minds. The left hemisphere governs analytical, rational, and linear thinking, while the right hemisphere controls creativity, intuition, and holistic perception. When these hemispheres don't function in harmony, the consequences manifest as confused thoughts, difficulty concentrating, lack of creative flow, and a persistent feeling of something missing. A specific technique can harmonize both hemispheres, fostering a state of deep mental balance, alternate nostril breathing. This practice, originating from yoga, is known as nadi shodhana, or purification of the energy channels. Beyond its spiritual origins, studies suggest it has a direct influence on neural activity, balancing brain hemispheres and creating an optimal state for focus, creativity, and intuition. Here's how to perform it. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Use your right thumb to gently close your right nostril and inhale deeply through your left nostril. At the peak of inhalation, close your left nostril with your ring finger and release your right nostril, exhaling through it. Now inhale through your right nostril, close it, and exhale through your left nostril. This completes one cycle. Repeat this cycle for several minutes. Initially, it may seem like a simple exchange of air between the nostrils, but as you maintain the rhythm, a subtle shift will occur. Your mind will quiet, a sense of presence will establish itself, and some may experience an almost immediate clarity, as if a mental fog is dissipating. Consider this. If such a simple technique can produce these effects within minutes, imagine the cumulative impact of regular practice. The brain is highly adaptable, responding to the patterns we teach it. Chaotic breathing fosters a chaotic mental state, while rhythmic breathing promotes clarity and equilibrium. Training your breath to access deeper states opens the door to experiencing levels of perception that once seemed unattainable. As you harmonize the brain hemispheres, you unlock hidden abilities. Your logical reasoning sharpens, creative expression flows effortlessly, and your intuition strengthens to the point where you begin to perceive patterns and solutions before consciously seeking them. Many spend their lives operating at a fraction of their true potential, trapped on the surface of their minds, distracted, overwhelmed, and never accessing the deeper realms of their own consciousness. This can change the moment you decide to take control of your mental state. How many times have you suppressed tears, swallowed anger, or stifled a feeling, believing it was inappropriate to experience it at that moment? The problem is that these emotions don't simply vanish. They become trapped, accumulating like blockages within your system, restricting energy flow, impairing mental clarity and well-being, and even limiting your capacity to perceive new possibilities. But these blockages can be released. A technique known as connected breathing can help unlock stagnant energy and release repressed emotions from the body. Here's how to perform it. Lie down comfortably and close your eyes. Begin inhaling and exhaling in a continuous flow without pauses, allowing the air to enter deeply through your nose and exit through your mouth without interruption. Maintain this rhythm for several minutes and simply observe what arises within you. Initially, it may simply feel like intense breathing, but as you continue, a shift will begin to occur. Some may experience a wave of heat rising through their body. Others will begin to perceive long-buried emotions. A spontaneous cry, an inexplicable laugh, or even a profound sense of relief may emerge, as if something is finally being released. This occurs because your body is releasing what has been trapped for years. This is not solely an emotional process, it is also physical. Breathing in this manner activates dormant regions of the nervous system, oxygenates the brain at a deeper level, and releases hormones and neurotransmitters that can rapidly alter your state of consciousness. Instead of carrying the weight of the past, you can literally breathe through it and release it. If you feel held back, burdened by an invisible weight, or plagued by persistent doubts and anxieties, perhaps you don't need more effort, knowledge, or attempts. Perhaps you need to release what remains trapped inside, and breathing is the key to unlocking that release. The way you breathe impacts not only your body and emotions, but also how you perceive the world around you. Your perception of reality is filtered through your brain, which in turn responds to biochemical signals, electrical impulses, and breathing patterns. By learning to breathe in specific ways, you change how your mind operates, altering brainwave rhythms, influencing your body's chemistry, and even accessing altered states of consciousness. There are states of perception that you have yet to access. You can expand your consciousness and perceive beyond your ordinary sensory limitations. Holotropic breathing, a powerful technique used by psychologists, shamans, and spiritual seekers, can help you access deeper layers of the mind, release unconscious blockages, and even facilitate mystical experiences. Here's how to practice it. Sit or lie down in a quiet space. Close your eyes. Begin breathing deeply and rapidly, without pauses between inhalation and exhalation. The air enters and exits quickly, creating a continuous flow. Maintain this breathing pattern for at least 10 minutes. Initially, it may feel like simple hyperventilation, but as you continue, a shift will occur. Your body may begin to vibrate, and your mind may enter an expanded state. Some may experience memories they didn't know they possessed. Others may feel waves of energy surging through their body. Some report out-of-body sensations, observing themselves from a completely new perspective. This happens because you are saturating your brain with oxygen, altering your internal chemistry, and activating dormant areas. Imagine being able to access a state of absolute mental clarity at any moment where doubts dissolve and you know precisely what to do. What if you could dissolve fears and anxieties not through conscious thought, but through a simple adjustment in your breath? What if you could experience moments of profound connection with yourself, where everything aligns and you feel precisely where you need to be? This is not only possible, it is already within you. Our bodies are not merely flesh and bone, but also fields of energy constantly interacting with the environment. Perhaps you have experienced the sensation of entering a place with a palpable energy, without consciously knowing why, or encountering a person with a dense aura, even without any verbal communication. Conversely, you may have experienced moments of deep connection where solutions arise as if from beyond logic. This is expanded perception, and breathing is the key to unlocking it. This technique can amplify your energetic sensitivity. Close your eyes and begin to breathe deeply through your nose. As you inhale, imagine absorbing clean, vibrant energy. As you exhale, imagine releasing any tension, weight, or energetic blockages. As you inhale, feel the energy rising up your spine, illuminating every cell. Continue for a few minutes and simply observe what you feel. If you practice this with awareness, you may notice something new. A tingling sensation, a gentle pulsation, or a feeling of warmth in certain areas of your body. This occurs because your breath is mobilizing energy, activating dormant internal circuits. Intuition is not magical or random. It is the ability to perceive subtle information that your rational mind typically ignores. When your energy is blocked, your intuition weakens. But unlocking those channels expands your perception, allowing you to perceive signals, sensations, and information that previously went unnoticed. Breathing has always been present, an invisible mechanism orchestrating your existence. But now you understand it is far more than a biological reflex. It is the key to unlocking your mind, body, and energy. Once you realize you possess the power to shift your inner state, access deeper levels of intuition, and transform your experience of reality, there is no turning back. The choice is yours. Continue breathing unconsciously, or harness this simple yet powerful act to awaken the potential that has always resided within. So, to wrap things up, I hope you've seen that breathing is so much more than just something we have to do. It's a tool, a key, a way to unlock incredible potential within yourself. Potential you probably didn't even know you had. From ancient wisdom to modern science, everything points to the profound power we hold in our own breath to change our mental state, access deeper awareness, and truly transform our lives. It's right there, available to you, always. I'd love to hear what you think. Have you tried any of these techniques before? What experiences have you had with conscious breathing? Leave a comment below, ask a question, or just share your thoughts. Let's start a conversation. And if you found this helpful and want to dive deeper into topics like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future explorations. There's so much more to discover together.